My home dimension was a post-apocalyptic wasteland, brought on by an alien invasion that decimated humanity. I won't get into that just yet, but suffice it to say, I didn't know my parents. I was raised by a traveling caravan, and I saw an awful lot of pain and suffering brought on by human-to-human interactions and mutant-to-human interactions. When I was a teenager, I took my pistol and my shotgun, and I decided maybe it was my calling to clean up this world. About 10 years into that, Her Highness Ishtar apparently decided I was worthy of being in her realm, and I ended up in what's called the Fleshlands. I didn't know where I was going, so I just started heading due southwest till I ran into a little town. I later found out it was called Wart Town, and I immediately felt right at home because it was full of mutants. Now, in my past, I sure fought a bunch of mutants, but I also lived with mutants. I know how they operate. I immediately went to their leader, Red Hand Jenny. She's a wild lady, but she welcomed me with open arms and said that she had some work for me if I wanted it. Being that I only had a couple days' food and some gold in my pocket, I figured, yeah, why not? I'll take that. She said she'd be mighty grateful if I killed a group of thieves that were causing her trouble about 3 days away, and she'd give me 8 gold for it, which seemed reasonable. Heck, I'd kill thieves without the gold, but I decided to take it. The next person I spoke to was Slasher. He seemed like he could be a pretty cruel person, and he was the general merchant in Wart Town. He wanted me to escort a friend of his to Ishtar Cove, which was a city north of Wart Town, about 5 days' journey. He offered me 7 gold if I would do that, and that also seemed pretty fine, so I took it. Now, when I got to Emil Klondesk, he was the trainer in this area. He's pretty guarded, so you can't get much out of him. He wanted me to capture a local boss that was giving Wart Town a hassle, and I told him that I didn't have anything to restrain the guy. I didn't have any chain, no rope, nothing, and he wouldn't give me any. So I had to wait another day and bide my time until he had another mission for me. Eventually, he settled on me intimidating some local slavers. Even though it was just for 4 gold, it was 3 days away, and I figured I'd usually intimidate slavers for free anyway, so it wasn't too bad. Before I left, I went back to Slasher and bought a fishing rod and a healing potion with my 10 gold that I had, leaving me with only 1 more gold. After that, I moved. I moved on, moving double fast, trying to make good time, and with my escort in tow. The first day I ran into Ephron's Consortium. Apparently, it's a bunch of slime bags that do a lot of commerce in this area, but they didn't do anything on my watch, so I figured let bygones be bygones until I have a problem with them. The next day, I found an item in the dirt, kicked it while we were walking. It was a rebreather, allows you to breathe underwater if you're not inclined to do so. I figured I'd take that, keep it, and hawk it for later on for some quick cash. We arrived in Orphan, which is just a terrible place, run down and ran by 3 different factions. They're all still pining for their old leader to come back, a telepath that had them all under his control at one point. The next day we encountered a merchant on the road, and I only had a single coin to my name, so we continued on. The following day I delivered my package to Ishtar Cove, just as I was hired to do, and he had taken a liking to me and gifted me a chain. As I said before, I could have used that, and I will do so in the future, capturing somebody. I also sold the rebreather, and I was able to barter it up to 6 gold, which made me pretty happy. After that, I force marched down south to take out some ironclad thugs. Now, these ironclad thugs were no joke. I took a good look at them, and I ambushed them. I took a wound at first, but I was able to take them out. I was pretty happy about that until their friends showed up and ambushed me. Well, I was already wounded, but luckily I made short work of them as well. I drank my potion I bought from Slasher, and I was feeling mighty fine. I traveled another day with no issues until I got to the Frost Gunners, the slavers I was supposed to intimidate. Well, I went up to them and gave them a stern talking to. It started out well, but things got a little rough before I finally intimidated them into leaving the area altogether. I was on my way back to Wart Town when I ran into a lady that seemed immediately smitten with me. Her name was Slandessa, and she wouldn't take no for an answer. saying that she needed to join my party and that I needed her, etc., etc. Of course, I wasn't interested in any of that nonsense, but I also wasn't about to fight a woman. So I figured as long as you're not taking any of my supply, you can stay in the group, I suppose. I had every intention of giving her the slip at first chance I got. We made it to Wartown that night, and I cashed in all my quests. I got 19 gold for my troubles, which was much appreciated. Spent one of them gold to stay in the inn that night and heal. Felt much better the next day.